ladies and gentlemen, what is the Hill doing? They've got what looks to be some liberal activist predicting the election on the morning of November 5th. And I saw this video, and shout out to this person. I've never listened. This map for someone that's part of like a supposedly a major YouTube channel. I know the Hill, their views have tanked and everything like that, but this is just remarkably bad. Like, it's worse. You'll get liberals on X who troll for engagement and say, oh, Harris is going to win Florida and stuff. But I don't even think they were this bad. I mean, this is crazy. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a look at this map that this woman has.
Okay, so let's show my map. Can we do
Oh,
that?
please.
All right. I know you guys are like,
and I love how you can immediately tell it's from 270 to win, and it's like not even scaled properly. It's not even zoomed in.
what? Wait,
Are you in?
And like, look at this. This is like 270p. There's Florida. There's Florida.
Insane?
Okay, I saw a lot of pretty
look at the
bad.
shading of it. Look at the shading of it. So what is that? What are the margins there in Michigan and Wisconsin? I guess what is she going to win? Michigan and Wisconsin by like 20 points or something. Montana's going to be very close. Yes, Montana will be close. There's Iowa and Seltzer.
wait,
Are you insane?
Okay, I saw a lot of pretty bad electoral map predictions before the election, but man, this one
Ann Seltzer was liberal women's queen.
took the cake. This was the worst one I saw, and when I saw it, I had to save it for later reference. Well, today is that reference. This
This is the worst one that's actually supposed to be realistic outside of liberal trolls on X.
Democrat lost her mind making this prediction, and it was fun to see her face at the end when she saw the real map.
Let me explain.
Oh my God.
Hear me out. Okay, I've been predicting a landslide for at least 3 weeks now. Hear me out. All right. Okay, so
I mean, you can, of course, Texas. I'm surprised Alaska. Honestly, I'm surprised not Alaska.
first off, 2016, Donald Trump has a smaller coalition than 2020.
Why is Nebraska? Why would the statewide Nebraska be light red?
And 2016 was his biggest coalition. He had a lot more older voters
His biggest coalition. What does that even mean?
at that time. Since then,
It's
it's
all
been
meaningless.
8 years. Several folks, older voters, have unfortunately died. Also, COVID deaths. So let's just start with
Because of COVID deaths, Trump's going to lose Texas and Florida.
age, right? She is doing far better than any other Democrat since 2000, as I've said before, with older voters. R plus 13 average, Republican plus 13 for those voters over 50, and she is winning with them,
How's
especially
she doing with men?
with women, but also with men. He is only doing well with one demographic, and that is young men under the age of 40 who are the least reliable
Not Hispanics.
voters. That's why he's doing the
Not people aged 40 to 54, where you look at all the polls, he's got his best approval rating from ages 40 to 54.
full podcast thing. It's why every Republican, mainstream Republican, is trying to get him to expand his coalition. He has a smaller coalition since 2020, since storming the Capitol, and we're seeing that in the exit polls already. People saying things like, yeah, I voted for him in 2020, but January 6th happened. She is doing exceedingly well, more than in the past, with young women women are the most reliable voters. And in exit polls in some states, she's doubling women to men in these early voting states. It is double the number of women voting.
And so let me just explain this, because there's just a lack of understanding here. And this is what I said, by the way, before the election, when Republicans were ringing the alarm bells and all of them, and they were all like, men got to go to the polls, and it was this whole thing. I said, listen, women already vote more than men. It's like 54 to 46, around there, 53, 47, give or take, in terms of women over men. Women at 53, 54, men at 46, 47. And on top of that, women also vote earlier than men. They do more early voting than men, so it's going to compound on top of itself. And that was the liberal cope. Well, oh my God, all these women are voting early. Well, yeah, we knew that was going to happen. And I told people. I said this is exactly what was going to happen. So she buys into it, the liberal trap that, they were swinging, oh my God, all these women are voting early. Yes, it compounds because more women vote than men already, and then they overwhelmingly vote early, more so than men. Men do the day of voting. This was known, and this was explained by many people, but they still buy into it.
for men.
You effectively think The
And
poll.
let
go
me
ahead,
keep going.
sorry.
Okay. Also, polls skew older. The polls have been hyper-corrected, as we know, to reflect 2016 concerns. But they also skew older, and she is doing not just very well with older voters, but also with younger voters. The only demographic he's doing well with is young men at this point. He took 2 weeks ago, he was
That just wasn't true.
getting a few points
In any of the polls, that was not true. 40 to 54.
from African Americans.
doing very well.
That's balanced out to 2020 levels. And then last but not least, a community I have worked for the last 8 years with very deeply, the Puerto Rican community and Latino vote. And I think what happened at Madison Square Garden is going to have a reverberating effect. In Pennsylvania alone, there are 450,000 Puerto Rican voters, 680,000 Latino voters, and right now it seems like she is really pulling them back into her favor. And I think it's all going to come down to Reading, Pennsylvania, where they closed out the election. It is, I'm not saying
But why would it come down to Pennsylvania? You have her winning Florida and Texas. Pennsylvania's, irrelevant if that would have happened.
it's going to be a landslide in some of these states, but
I mean, I agree.
Oh, no, don't go crazy. Don't go crazy. No. She might only win Texas by 3 points instead of 10. You're right. I'm sorry. It's not, you got to be realistic.
I think it's going to come down to Pennsylvania, and that she could win Pennsylvania. That is my prediction. But you have her winning Texas and Florida?
yeah, Puerto Rican vote.
Okay.
Latinos.
I will wear a White Dudes for
Latinos.
Harris t-shirt on this show.
Texas was already
if
kind
she
of in the mix.
wins Texas and Florida. There is
Remember the
no...
liberal talk about Texas on X? It seemed like there was a lot more of it like in 2016. It didn't seem like they were really in it with Texas. 99% of them admitted they had no chance in Texas this cycle.
No way on God's green earth. There's no way on God's green earth that's going to happen. That is insane.
The problem with Democrats, and I got a lot
You
of
think the
problems.
polls are massively wrong in Trump's favor? That's
Yes.
what you're saying.
I'm not saying that they're biased. I think there's a lot of theories about that. I'm saying that they're massively wrong because we are dealing with a 2016, which was 8 years ago,
Yeah.
and 2020, which was COVID, where everybody was mailing in their votes, and using off-cycle elections to model off of 2022, which also reflects what I'm saying in terms of coalitions shrinking, women, not just because of reproductive rights. She's obviously the first woman candidate. He speaks very disparagingly of women. But also Texas and Florida, the Democrats just pulled
She say she's the first woman candidate?
out of those states. I covered the DNC for
Because
years.
they know it's impossible to win them.
Democrats pulled out of Texas and Florida.
No, well, no, because the model of Democratic Party at the time was very much like, we're not funding state parties anymore. That is a major problem that occurred out of Barack Obama's presidency. They used to fund every single state party. That was the 50-state strategy. Howard Dean popularized that. And then they pulled out and they put them all
All right,
in
let's get to the end of this.
The little
hippo.
cute little hippo thing. They give a Trump cake and a Kamala. Can't wait
Organizing.
for that. Can't wait for that.
That Sky News is projecting that Donald Trump has won Florida.
With former chair of
I
the
mean, it's
Republican
done, right?
Party.
It's been called now for Trump, so
It is.
Your prediction is out the window. I will not have to wear
That's okay.
my White Dudes for Harris t-shirt on the show tomorrow. I was confident
I
enough.
think she should just play it off and act, But I mean, this is like a historically bad prediction for someone that. I mean, this is the Hill. I mean, they're supposedly. I mean, this is like maybe an activist does this again, like a liberal. I see these liberal maps, but they troll. Okay, the liberals don't even think this. I mean, this is next level. And this woman's like, no, they pulled out of Texas and Florida, and that's a good thing. That means she's gonna win those states. So this has got to be the worst, like actual somebody trying to legitimately say that this is a real map. This might be the worst one, like the legitimate, because obviously people control and say Democrats are going to win every state, whatever. But this is a real bad one. So just a little funny thing. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.